When last we left our intrepid adventurers...
They had just reached the beacon in the Termia sector labeled Termia Sector Beacon Number 4.
That is a lame name.
Termia Sector Beacon Number 4? I only have Termia 4.
Okay, fine. That's Termia 4.
Sector Beacon Number 4. 1 second. Hang on.
The first thing you see at Beacon Number 4 of the Termia sector is an Engi space station. It looks like
Hello, Engi space station.
It is a large Engi space station. Looks like it's the sort of place that has all the amenities, as it were. However, at the moment, it is under attack by a number of Vokar. What looks like a small fleet of Vokar ships are attacking the station. The station is firing back with what weapons it has, but you will remember that the Engi are not a particularly warfaring race. The good news is there happen to be several Zoltan ships also at the beacon fighting against the Vokar. They appear to be outnumbered.
What if we helped?
This is... Hold on.
Do you want to scan the battlefield for exact number of ships?
Yeah. We have an advanced scanning suite.
Scanning systems to do that.
Let's see. There are 1, 2, 3. So last time you ran into the Vokar, you ran into two different types of ship, or two different types of aliens. The bigger, slower ones and the smaller, faster ones. The smaller ones being about the size of your ship. There are 2 of the little fast ones and 3 of the bigger, slower ones. There are also 4 little ones that appear to be like fighter-sized aliens.
Fighter-sized aliens.
So fatties, skinnies, and babies.
That we designate these aliens as YVs.
YVs?
As in the capital Y, capital V, lowercase s.
Because...
Why you suggest that?
Because they appear to be organic beings that can exist in space.
They are.
That throw acid at you.
Yeah. And so we're calling them YVs?
So why not organic acid thrower space beasts?
Because that's not what they're called in Star Wars.
In Star Wars?
Yeah, none of them have tried to strip our shields off with a generated black hole, though, so...
I guess that's fair.
And they appear to be made of, like, not coral?
Disappointing. Do they have, like, fins?
Not really. Some of them have, like, spines, but they appear to maneuver by, like, shooting out little particles of... It's almost like they have jets that they use. They, like, spit acid out of one side and use that to propel them.
Poop jets.
So they're farters.
Yeah,
they're
except more like...
propelled space worms
How are
that
they
spit acid.
faster than we are then? Because
they're kind of like Zerg.
The amount of mass...
Incredibly efficient.
I was going to say, the amount of mass that they have to eject in order to be faster than our ship is immense.
Well, it's a lot of small particles, so it works kind of on the same principle as like a jet engine. Sort of. Not a jet engine, but a rocket engine.
Okay, thank you.
Not a jet engine, that's the wrong word. A rocket engine. Sort of like a rocket engine.
Okay.
Sort of like a rocket engine. But, like, from their butt.
How many
so
ships
a butt
are there,
rocket.
did you say?
So, 3 of the larger, slower ones, 2 of the faster, smaller ones, and 4 of the fighter-sized ones.
So,
and they're fighting how many?
2 cruisers, 3 destroyers, and 4 fighters?
The Zoltan currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships of their own. 2 corvettes, a cruiser, and 2 mid-sized frigates.
I'm sorry, what animals are those? Because I don't understand the designations.
Well, they're Zoltan designations.
Oh.
No, thanks.
What animals are they?
Well, the equivalent in the Federation designations, the corvettes would be, let's see. Corvettes might be a, like, Puma class. The mid-sized frigates might be, Might be like, might be. I'm thinking of a really good like Predator class. Maybe like Falcon class, and then the cruiser might be like uh, Tiger class,
Falcon's
or
not a big cat.
not a big cat, but
Disappointing.
no, but it's a predatory bird. They're designed for one thing: swooping in and killing things.
All right, how about the NG ships?
The baboon isn't a big cat.
Yeah, tell that to
there-
the next baboon you see.
That's a baboon. Your ship is a baboon ship.
Yep.
There are no
Baboon
Enki
class.
ships,
And
but
I
there's
dare
a
you to tell
lot
me
of
that it's not a big
lot of
cat.
records. What?
And I dare you to
Baboon
tell
is
me
not
that
a
it's
big
not a
cat.
big cat.
Baboon is not a big cat.
Yeah, I'll shoot you down too.
If
There,
you shoot me down by blowing up the ship I am on,
I will become stronger than
you
can
might
ever
regret
imagine.
it
there are no Enki
if you
ships.
live long enough.
There are no Enki ships in the beacon, but there is a bunch of wreckage suggesting that there used to be some Enki ships.
Ah, so maybe they've dispersed into their individual nanite components.
Or maybe they've been blown up.
So 5 Zoltan ships fighting 4 Vokar ships, 6 Vokar ships if you count the fighters. Wait, no,
No,
8 Vokar
8.
ships.
There's the math.
What is the compass heading telling us?
Let's see. The compass heading is telling you. It's now pointing towards that little isolated beacon to the northeast, which is Termia Beacon 9.
Can we just go there and avoid the battle?
We are kind of beat up. But if we win, think of the XP.
Would be a ton of XP.
That's what I'm worried about. Like, the XP is like directly related to the amount of danger it is involved.
It's up to you. You'll have to make a decision.
I vote we go into stealth mode and head for the next beacon. Since our captain has fallen asleep, I take over in his place and say, "All right, crew, activate the cloaking device,
Hang on.
and let's go to the next sector."
Do we see any obvious battle damage on the Zoltan ships?
The Zoltan ships, only the cruiser still has its Zoltan shield up. Their weapons seem to be pretty effective against the Zoltan ships, or the Zoltan shield itself, less so against the regular shields. All the ships are holding their own. As I said, they're a little outnumbered, and the fighters are giving them a little bit of problem because the fighters are kind of hard to hit. But they seem to be doing fair to midland okay. None of them seem to be incredibly damaged, if that's what you mean.
As
They're all still.
we're driving,
So we really could tip the balance
as
of
we're
battle
driving
here.
through the sector, let's just take some pot shots at the fighters with our mini beam. That doesn't miss.
That's a great idea. If we could take down those fighters, I bet the Zoltans would have a great chance against the bigger ships.
Their weapons.
And if we do it carefully enough, if we arrange it so we're like at the fringe of the battle and like shoot and run away and recloak,
Pot shots.
we probably wouldn't be shot up too much because those big ships would have to rotate from their engagement with the other ships.
The
Not
Zoltan
the big space
friendly
slug
toward us,
things.
though. Have we done anything to piss them off recently? Because that's
I don't think
a
you've
real
met any
consideration.
Zoltan.
We've been mostly in red faction space. What, Steve?
I don't think you've met any Zoltan in the whole campaign.
We should maybe check and see if they want our help, or if they want to blow us up, because you never know. They're also an alien race. They just happen to have spaceships.
Okay, but like
The last
if I'm
alien
fighting
race we ran into
slugs from another dimension and somebody else shows up and starts shooting the slugs from another dimension that are trying to kill me, I'm going to be like, okay.
Oh, let's kill the slugs and then kill these people.
Well, at least they'll kill the slugs first, which gives time to cloak and run.
Let me
You're-
kill these people while they're shooting at the slugs.
Your knowledge of the Zoltan would indicate that they would be not very likely to do that. they're pretty reasonable race, generally speaking.
I call Sladen on the comm link. Sladen, in your vast experience, have you ever had a chance to interact with a Zoltan?
Sladen met a Zoltan in a bar one time.
Would you say they're friendly towards humans?
Did you drink? Did you fight? Did he make his ancestors proud?
This Zoltan was particularly friendly. That may have been a result of the alcohol. I'm not actually sure how alcohol affects Zoltan physiology.
Wait, who's not actually sure?
Sladen's not
Zoltan
exactly
Sladen.
sure. Sladen's not
Or
exactly
it's
sure.
Zoltania.
Retcon. Sladen's not exactly sure how alcohol affects Zoltan physiology.
Ah. Alright, well. Whatever.
I
I
would
still think
like
we
to
should
at
just
least
get out of
try.
here, but
I mean, you can try to open a hailing channel, you can just shoot, you can leave, you can...
let's throw some hail at
I mean,
him.
if
Yeah,
you
let's hail the base.
There's a base.
hail the Engie...
The NG base.
Oh yeah, the station?
Yeah, the station.
Could we get repairs there, conceivably, if the battle clears up?
Like, the last time
Yeah.
we kept a space station from getting destroyed, they gave us free repairs.
Well, let's do that.
Now he's on board.
It looks like a station that would be able to do that. Like it's a
Probably
big-
has broad spectrum galactic communications capabilities as well.
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Oh, good. Hey, let's hail the station.
Hail the station. It's a moment before you receive contact. You hear an NG voice, the closest to frantic you could ever hear an NG voice. Say, unidentified ship. Please state the nature of your business.
Yeah. This is Wilberforce Jericho Carruthers III Esquire, King of the Planet Atlantis, and Captain of the Starship
Why do you ever
Durango.
ask him to identify himself? Ever!
Yes, we know who you are.
Oh, excellent.
We
My
have heard of your
friend
legacy in appropriating the planet Atlantis.
Shut up.
Prime Minister. Yes, we know who you are. Harry Jones, Prime Minister.
It appears that you are in a bit of distress. Might we be assistance?
Affirmative. We are in distress.
Excellent.
Please help. Please send aid.
Which of the two combatants currently in your orbit is attacking you?
The Zoltan are attempting to help us from the scourge of the Vokar. We are unable to fight them off.
Excellent.
Would you
We
like
shall
some
assist.
help?
Affirmative. Please assist.
Alright. Why
Let's
didn't
do
you say
this.
so earlier, honey?
Our cloak's activated by now, right? And our shields are up.
Haven't said anything about activating it.
We're
Why did we
activating
activate
it.
the cloak?
So that we can sneak up on the ships.
Alright. It only lasts 2 turns.
Yeah, but 2 turns should be enough for us to draw a
And
bead on a fighter
I
and
would
blow it
point
up.
out that if we cloak in battle, it also evades all damage that would happen during those 2 turns.
Ooh, that's a
Interestingly
good point.
enough, I did some reading on this. It turns out in FTL, cloaking increases your dodge chance by like 60%. And I found that out because one time when I was playing with a ship that had cloak, I cloaked right after they fired a shot, and I got hit by it.
Huh.
And it's only happened to me like once in the entire time I've ever been playing the game. But there's actually a really small chance that you can actually get hit by an inadvertent shot when you're in cloak.
Interesting.
I suppose you're
It's
invisible, not immaterial.
Yeah, you're still there, so if you like run into it, you can still get hit. It's possible. It's impossible for them to target you,
So if you're
And it's-
navigating
So wait, you're
rolls
saying
a
I
critical
shouldn't
failure,
ride straight at the missiles?
or they roll a. Yeah, so it's still possible. It's just like
Right.
5%.
Once you become invisible, they're not going to know where to shoot to target you.
Right, but
So
right, and they can't target you until you come out. But it can be used to avoid some damage, is what I'm saying. And I'd rather do
okay,
that.
so let's
Yeah.
start charging shields, weapons, and cloak. And we're not going to activate the cloak yet.
Before you do, I should notice that we leveled up the ship the other day, Graf.
Huh?
We forgot to. You forgot to add a power level.
Oh,
We just have 1 extra power.
And since you're at level 8, you get a bonus power. So you've actually got 2
Oh.
extra power to allocate.
Wow.
so a
what-
total of 11.
I would like to point out that each additional point we put into shields at this point gives us an extra shield.
We should put 2 points in shields.
And we could take some points out of engines since we're not trying to run, and put them into shields as well, if we want.
I would still like the dodge because those things have really high accuracy with their late acid spin.
Okay, so
Right now you
right
plus
now,
2 to dodge because of the engines.
wait, say that again.
Right now, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power points in engines. Is that right?
I only have 4 because we have 1 in cloak.
Yeah, but didn't you upgrade your engines one time?
Yes, it says 4 plus 1.
Wait, what's our current total power, including the 2 we just got?
Including the 2 you just got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13. Okay. So we previously had 4 engines, 1 cloak, 3 weapons, 1 armor, 2 shields.
Yeah, but we took the 1 out of armor because we got rid of armor.
Right. Armor no longer exists.
And I think you guys put that power into engines because it gave you the dodge.
So what are the breakpoints for engine dodge?
Let's see. 2, 4. I think up to a certain max, I think you get +1 to dodge for every 2 power points you put into it. So right now you've got 5, so you've got +2. If you add another one, you'll have +3.
Right now,
but I think that'll be your max.
Right now, on my thing, I have only 4 points of power in there, and then there's 1 point from the upgrade that we got.
Yes.
So we have 5 total, but we only have 4 power in it.
The 1 point from the upgrade you got, that counts as like a permanent power.
Right, but it doesn't take away from our ship power. Like we have only 4 ship power in there.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
Could take
Sorry,
one
you're right.
ship power out and still have
And
an
still have-
effective 4.
Yes. Good
Or we
clarification.
could put 1 ship power in and have an effective 6, which would give us +2 instead of +1.
+3 instead of +2.
+2. Right. Oh right.
Yeah.
+3.
Because we have cumulative.
Yep.
So we only need 3 to power all of our weapons, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Because they're all tier 1 weapons, so they all take 1 power each.
And we have a total of 13 power, which gives us 10 left over to distribute between engine and shields. And the 1 for cloak.
Or cloaking. If you want it, you can add 1 to cloak if you want.
What would that do?
We already have 1 in cloak.
I mean, you could have 2 in cloak.
Right, we can have...
What would that do for us?
Each additional 2 power reduces the recharge. Minimum of 4 turns. Right now we've got 1 point in it, so we could put 2 more points in it and it would have a recharge of 5 turns instead of 6. But I don't really see the point in that because I
No,
use it
I don't like
once.
that.
No, I want to put it in shields. I think we should we've got 3 from my calculation. We've got 3 extra points. We have 4 in engines, 3 in weapons, 2 in shields, and 1 in cloak. That's 10.
Yeah.
So we've got 3
So
extra
it's 3
points.
extra.
So,
I think maybe one of those I was counting as that engine upgrade, so you may only actually have 2.
That seems a
Okay.
little close.
1, 2,
I
3,
thought
4,
we
5,
also
6,
had
7,
only 2.
11,
We have
12.
a ship level of 8.
Yeah, so you should have 12.
Okay.
Sorry,
That
I was
makes a little
counting
more
that.
sense.
That was a good clarification, Phil, because I was counting that engine upgrade as one of your points, as one of your ship points. So if you count that, you have 13, but one of those is automatically in engines.
Okay,
got
so we have
12.
2. That
Yeah,
right.
lines up with what I had. That
Yes.
lines up
Sorry
with what
about
I had. So we
You are
can
correct.
we can do one of 2 things in my mind. We can put an extra point in engines and get more dodge, and an extra point in shield and get another shield. Or we can take a point out of engines and have the same dodge and put all 3 points in shields.
I like that option.
Is that what you're going to do?
Shields. Each shield takes
So-
how long to recharge?
So 3
Well-
in weapons, 3 in engines, plus 1 from our upgrade, 1 in cloak, and 5 in shields. For a total of 4 shields?
Yes.
You're going to take 1 out of engines, and you're going to put 3 into shields.
That would be...
4.
How long do the
So the engine
shields
gives
take
us-
to recharge?
Okay, so here's the deal on shields. They work differently
got
than they
Amy.
do in FTL. So in FTL, you have like layers of shields, and each layer takes a while to recharge.
Right.
You decide your shields get just stronger, and once they go down, you just recharge them, and they go all the way back to full.
All the way back
And
at once. That's right.
but they don't
Yeah.
recharge until they go all the way down.
Okay. Idea. Here's what we do. It's easy. Put a ton in shields. When they go down, we turn on the cloak and give them extra time to recharge.
There you go. With Amy on your shields, they recharge at the maximum rate because she's that good.
Way to go, Amy.
And
She really is that good.
I think it's 2 turns. I think it's 2 down turns. Yeah, the minimum recharge is 2 turns down.
We'll be
Yeah,
invincible.
it's not really
Why
too
didn't we
bad.
do this earlier?
Because we only just now got all that extra power.
That's true. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so take 1 out of engines. So we have 3 in engines.
Yep.
So then we have 5 in shields. With a total of 4 shields.
A total 4 shields. Which is, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not incorrect, I think that's the max for this tier. Yeah, that's the max. Yeah,
Okay.
for this tier. But you're only 2 levels away from tier 2.
Are we gonna
And-
get 2 levels in this fight? If we kill everything ourselves? Maybe?
If I have my way, you'll get 2 levels this session.
Let's get 'em.
It needs more fighting.
Let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
Huzzah!
All right.
Enter the fray, bold fighters,
Enter the fray.
warriors.
Brave, bold warriors. The battle is intense. The Vokar exchanging blows with the Zoltan in a flurry of plasma and acid. You notice, for the first time, that those projectiles they were throwing at you, some of them are like big plasma blobs, and some of them are like big missile-shaped things that appear to be made out of bone. One of them crashed.
what?
Appear to be made out of like bone.
I still can't hear that word. Bow?
Bone. B-O-N.
Bone. Okay, gotcha.
One of them crashes into one of the small Zoltan ships, causing a hull breach.
Breach! Into the breach! I yell.
Into the
we
breach.
Charge into battle.
Okay, so, Pilot, you will need to roll for initiative. I'll roll for everybody else's initiative. Oh, wow. Ah.
I'm going to use a new set of dice tonight. Just because I'm moderately displeased with how my dice rolled last time. They're on the bench. It does feel weird now to be rolling a die that does not weigh half a pound.
Half a pound?
Well, I rolled a nice even 10 for initiative.
Not bad.
Plus 1
Yeah.
for whatever applicable
Not
stat
bad.
that is.
Not good enough.
No, actually, it's decent. The Zoltan rolled a 15 and the Vokar rolled a 5. So you'll go second.
That's nice.
Awesome.
even
Everybody gets to
distribution.
shoot. Maybe we can take some Vokar out.
So, the Zoltan take some shots. I need an even surface to roll. I'm sitting on carpet here. Ah, much better. Okay, let's just see what happens here. Ooh. The Zoltan hit one of the small ships, doing a little bit of damage. You can't really tell how much. It's really hard to tell how much damage they do. They miss all the other ships, but one of the smallest ships attacks simultaneously with 2 of its beam weapons, and nails one of the fast Vokar. Vokar looks like it took a lot of health that hit. Or a lot of damage. It's now your turn.
Hey, we should hit the one that got damaged.
Okay. Well, it's the bottom of the first turn. I don't think you guys have anything charged.
We were totally charging our weapons.
Consulted with your
before
weapons
this.
expert before making that decision, Commander Wilberforce.
Hey, I said before we got started we were charging shields, weapons, and cloak.
And it's the first turn of battle, and nothing is charged.
Before we entered battle.
Nope.
And then the Space Master's like, oh no, well, now you're in battle.
The battle began as soon as we broke communications with the ND station, and now I'm charging them as fast as I can.
Right. Well, the next 2 turns I will be evasioning.
Fair enough.
Evasioning. Excellent.
Like a boss.
Now I get to break out my notes for the Vokar. About the weapons. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, let's just see. Enough. Not good enough. One of the larger Vokar launches a missile, strikes the Zoltan cruiser, taking out its shields. The other,
I have no idea how they managed to defeat the Zoltan energy shield.
another Vokar launches a massive acid ball that just kind of careens off into space. The other one, is that possible? Okay, the other one does the same thing, launching off an acid projectile that completely flies off target.
Yes.
And meanwhile, the
Wow.
two...
Here's the Zoltan have advanced biological countermeasures.
Apparently, because one of the smaller, faster Vokar, which named them runners because that's what they are.
Wait, they have legs?
No, but that's just what they're called.
They run
Like-
through space?
Well, in the same way that like a spice runner runs or blockade runs.
Metaphorically.
Yeah, metaphorically.
Okay.
That's their
But
designation.
they all just kind of generically modify their orbits around the nearest significant center of mass.
Anyway,
If we're intent on realism, I mean.
one of the mid-sized frigates, which rolls a critical success on its dodge, so good that the projectile hits one of the other Vokar.
Nice!
Wow, that's an intimidating dodge. Doesn't look like they needed us after all.
It's like they use the ship's localized gravity to bend the projectile around the ship, fling it back at the attacking Vokar fleet.
They
Well,
didn't
here's the
even
funny
maneuver
thing.
where
Is
they
it a
were
fleet, or is it more of a
between
swarm?
ships.
Because they're kind of space eel bugs.
Say that again. Say that again, Dan.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just wondering if it was a Vokar fleet, or if it was like a swarm, since they're kind of space slug bug things.
Swarm might be a better term.
What do you call a group of slugs?
I mean, swarm is the term applied to, like, Zerg, and it's kind of the same idea. Like, the Vokar are a little bit more like fewer ships but larger, whereas fewer aliens but larger aliens, whereas Zerg like Bacillion small aliens.
A group of slugs is called a cornucopia.
Apparently.
Let's call this a Vokar cornucopia then.
What?
Ah, in the UK they say cornucopia. In the US they say route.
So maybe the Zoltan called them a cornucopia and everybody else calls them.
And apparently the French may call them an escargatoire.
Ah, that's true. Well, unfortunately, the other mid-sized
I'm
frigate...
totally okay with routing the space slugs regardless of what they're called.
Very
Do
good.
it.
Well, unfortunately, the other mid-sized Zoltan frigate rolled a 1 on their dodge, which means that they flew straight into the missile, or into the attack with their engine. Also, they took a ton of damage.
Well, that's not good.
Fighters. Well, one of the fighters shoots another fighter.
Awesome.
Because apparently they're just that bad. Ooh, but another one of the fighters kamikazes into one of the smaller corvettes, completely causing a massive explosion to happen at the engines. The ship begins, like, the force of the explosion propels the corvette like, away from the battle.
Does it also destroy the small fighter that kamikazed into it?
Yes.
One down.
I hope so. Otherwise, there's no really point kamikazeing.
Unfortunately, that small corvette is now out of the fight. Which is okay because it's the Zoltan's turn.
Okay.
The large cruiser fires a shot at one of the big Vokar bombers, doing some damage. Let's see. It also fires a missile at another Vokar bomber, which fails to dodge. Does a little bit of damage to that one.
Kaboom.
One of the Vokar runners dodges a shot from a mid-sized frigate. Oh, boom. The remaining smaller corvette lands a hit on the already wounded runner, taking him down. Not taking him down, sorry, taking him down a couple of damage points. Not actually taking him over. Your turn.
So we are down one Zoltan and one tiny bug.
Yes.
And none of our weapons are charged yet?
No, but the ion beam and the ion and the mini beam will be ready next turn.
We're still evasiving, I guess,
I
right?
continue evasivating with an eye towards driving into a position to pick off some of the small fighters.
Right. Well,
But not get stabbed by the big guys.
the fighters kind of have a similar idea and move to attack you. The rolls, it's good enough. They both two of them attack you. They're both good enough to hit. Roll for dodge.
Yaj.
Here comes a dodge, dodging.
Yaj.
Okay, so I rolled a 12. I have +1 from Dex and another +1 from having a rank in navigation.
And +2 from our engine.
+2 from the engines. And +1 for manning the piloting station, or not?
I think the +2 only affects the engine dodge. Or does it affect both?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I think we said it only affects the pilot, doesn't it? Pilot dodge? No, I don't know. I thought it only
No,
affected
it would affect the automated engine dodge. Okay, so
I feel like
+1 for Dex, +1
Yeah.
for rank in navigation, +1 for being evasive,
+1 for manning it.
+1 for manning it.
so +4.
So that totals 16 points.
Not good enough.
I
Close.
told you you needed to dodge.
+2 from the engines.
Well,
So what
Jeeves
does
can
Motor
make a-
roll? Oh, that's right.
Motor's not manning these.
Right, he's not.
Worcester.
He's not here.
Worcester can make a roll, and he has, let's see, +2 for the engine thing, +1 for manning it, but that's all he gets because he doesn't have belts and decks. He rolls a 9, also not good enough, which means you take 2 damage
To the
On the
shield.
shield.
to the shields. Brings you down to 2 shields. But you've got another chance to dodge
Okay, we survived.
the next incoming blast from the
Okay. Rolling again.
Roll on yield.
At a +4.
+4.
I rolled a 17.
Good enough to dodge.
Should be good
Excellent.
enough.
Good
Plus a
enough,
point
I say.
for my Dex, for my navigation skill.
Excellent dodge, I say.
And does
Oh,
the-
meanwhile, the bombers take some more shots
Does the
at...
utility droid level up at all?
Oh, dear. One of the
Probably not.
mid-sized frigate attempt... Sorry, what'd you say?
Does the utility droid level up at all?
No.
I didn't think so.
That was the catch. That's the catch with utility droids. They can man any system you want, but they don't gain experience and learn like sentient creatures do.
That's too bad. I guess it's all right. We don't really want them becoming too self-aware.
Well, the utility droid can also fight fires and repair things. It just
Right.
doesn't get better.
And he
Wait,
can
yes.
breathe in vacuum. Or operate
Yes.
in vacuum.
He can operate in vacuum as well.
So next time, Wilberforce gets any bright ideas about some EVA activity, which is a little
we
redundant,
have the robots.
but we have the robot to use it.
Just saying.
That's true. Right.
No.
Well, one of the another critical fail in the dodge for the Zoltan. One of the mid-sized frigates, in attempting to dodge a massive spore blast, dodges into the other small-sized mid-sized frigate, and still takes damage from that spore blast. They collide like this and go, and there's
I saw that in a movie one time.
a massive. Oh yeah, sorry. It sounds like because there's no sound in space.
Ha!
A massive hole in the side of the other one.
Into the breach, I say again.
Into the breach again.
Is it my turn yet? Can I roll yet? Is it
Ah,
my turn to
subject-
shoot things?
Several other shots are fired, but the Zoltan pilots are able to avoid them, which means it's your turn.
Yes.
Heavy laser will be ready next turn, and mini beam are both ready this turn.
Yes. Let's do some damage.
Fire away.
Right.
Which ones should we shoot at? Remind me, who's left on the battlefield? I glance
Well,
at the tactical display.
You're glancing at the tactical display. You read 3 fighters left, 2 of the fast ones, the runners, and 3 of the big ones, the bombers. The bombers are still all in pretty good health. The runners have taken multiple hits, and the fighters seem to be pretty weak.
Weren't there only 2 bombers at the beginning of the encounter? There were 3.
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 I fire the ion cannon, which doesn't appear to do much anything. But
You might consider firing at one of the
If-
large projectiles.
if we fail critically, it might take out our Zoltan ship. So there's
Which-
that to think about.
Good.
I believe that you will not fail
At least that
critically.
would have an impact on the battlefield.
At least that would have an impact.
At least I would make a difference. Okay, so I fire the ion. Are there any projectiles to shoot at?
Yeah, there's a couple. You're not sure if it would work, but there are a couple of those bone missiles.
Well,
en route,
Sladen just told me to consider it, and he's a genius, so...
and there are 1 or 2 of the big spore acid pods flying towards the Zoltan. So take your pick.
What do you think, Wilberforce? Should I try for one of the ships or one of the missiles?
If you shoot at the ships, you have a better chance to hit them, and it will reduce the amount of damage we suffer. Shooting at the missiles is a higher risk strategy, but might keep some of the Zoltan in shape.
Okay, best scenario, if I roll a 20, which one do we want me to hit?
If you roll a 20, you have a chance to do critical damage, which could take out a ship.
The ships it is.
However, if the mini beam doesn't miss, it might do enough damage to take out a missile.
Can I shoot the mini-beam missiles? Mini-beam not missing, though, is good against the fighters. We want to clear the fighters out as soon
That's
as
true.
possible. Okay, I'm shooting the mini-beam first at a fighter. Bazap.
Bazap. There are 3 fighters. 1 of them has taken damage. I shoot the damaged one or the health.
I shoot at the damaged one.
The damaged. Okay.
Consolidate.
Make your IQ roll. You need to hit a 7.
19.
Critical damage. Which is okay because even regular damage would have been enough to take out this damaged fighter. The mini beam deftly takes the fighter out of the sky like a surgical laser.
Out of the... Are we in atmosphere now?
It takes it out of. It blows it up.
I'm okay with that.
These fighters are carrying explosives. Use your
Quick.
incendiary weapons, I say to the Zoltan fleet. Okay, I fire the ion cannon as well.
Okay. What do you fire the ion cannon at?
Preferably something with a nervous system.
Is there anything that's like You said there are a couple missiles heading towards the Zoltan ships. Are there any coming towards our ship yet?
Not at the moment. And I will tell you, you also haven't tried the ion cannon on fighters either.
We haven't tried the ion cannon on the fighters. I think, we did try it on
You
the
also
runner.
haven't tried it on missiles or sportbacks.
We did try it on the runner and nothing happened, right?
Yeah, nothing happened.
Right.
Let's try it on fighter.
Okay, you'll be at -2 because the fighters are so fast and nimble.
But I'm at +1,000,000 because I'm awesome.
You'll be at +1,000,000 -2.
Yes.
If we
I've got
hit the fighter, maybe its nervous system is small enough that the ion bolt will overload it.
I've got one for manning. I've got one for appointing weapons.
And one, you should have one for dex.
And
Yeah.
one for dex, yeah. So I'm at +3, -2. You said.
Yeah.
So I'm at +1.
Yep.
I rolled a 15.
15. That's good enough to hit. Let's see the dodge.
+1 is a 16.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, you rolled a 1 on the dodge.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna say that he let's see.
It's my intimidation working.
By sheer intimidation,
My charisma scared
your
them.
your charisma intimidates him so much that he actually dodges into the gaping mouth of one of the bombers and is eaten.
He's eaten?
Yes.
Oh,
Eat it.
that was a
Eat it.
success. I call that a success.
I really hope the bomber reflexively fires its entire load of missiles and acid.
An alpha strike?
Whatever just ate it.
Careful what you wish for.
The bomber is the one that ate the fighter.
Oh. Did it eat it with the same mouth that it uses to shoot acid?
The bombers are the big ones.
Yep.
The fighters are the little ones.
Oh, okay.
They use the mouths to eat ships, and occasionally other Vokar if they are small enough and they fly into their back.
Get hungry.
Their dodge.
They critically fail their dodge.
Okay.
I'm okay with this. I'll call this a win.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
I mean,
Let's go on to the next sector. Scoop up the points for the fighters and get out of here.
yeah, nice try. There's still a fighter left. And it's their turn. So a whole bunch of those missiles and bombs that were coming in begin to hit. The remaining corvette dodges one. One of the frigates does not. The frigate takes some damage. It's now traveling very slowly and looks to be peeling off to try and leave the battle. It looks like it has several hull breaches. It's not doing well.
It's not good.
One of the
Running away, eh?
It seems to be running away. Oh, not good. The cruiser takes a missile directly to the engines. Now without engines or missiles. So right now the state of the Zoltan fleet is that the cruiser is pretty much okay. One of the frigates is pulling away. One of the corvettes is still drifting off space without control of their engines. The other corvette is at full health, and the other frigate is at about 2/3 health.
Okay.
So they're doing all right. And what's the state of the enemy fleet?
There's only one fighter remaining. The 2 runners have both taken damage. 3 bombers are still pretty fine.
Let's get him.
All right. Let's do this.
Oh no, hold on. Sorry, Zoltan's turn.
Oh, good.
Oh, not good. Zoltan missed several shots, but one particularly nasty shot gets through to a bomber that appears to have disabled one of the bomber's weapons system. One of the weapons shooty things. One of the holes in their porous skin that emits spores and massive sacks of acid and missiles and things like that.
Okay.
So your turn. The heavy laser is ready to fire. If you'd like to fire it.
Let's fire.
All right.
We could hit one of the bombers.
We could hit one of the bombers, or one of the wounded runners, or one of the fighters.
I don't know if we can hit the fighters.
The fighters are the only ones that affect your dodge, the fighters are the only one that affects your hit chance.
Let's hit the bomber.
Okay.
Or actually, the runners are both damaged.
Yeah, runners are both damaged.
The bombers are the ones that are the most dangerous.
Definitely.
The bombers are the most damaged. The runners are fast.
Well, we're not trying to run away, so let's shoot the bombers.
Go for it.
Kabomber!
Kabomber!
Bam!
One bomber is weaker than the other two.
I shoot the weak bomber.
Shoot the weak bomber.
With
Make a roll for it.
I rolled a 10, and I think I'm at +3.
That's good enough. Bomber fails to dodge. You send a 2 damage packet away.
Send it packing with those 2 damage.
Alright. Let's see. You're in the middle, so it's now the Vokar's turn. You seem to have attracted their attention.
Yes!
Both of the runners fire packets of acid at you. One of them completely misses. The other is good enough to hit. Roll for dodge.
These acids travel fast.
To dodge.
Wait, is
Well,
it their turn now?
The runners have a acid pack that travels faster and it's smaller.
But it's their turn now, and that's why they're shooting at us, right?
Yes.
Thank you. That I missed.
I rolled a 20.
Rolled a 20? Wow!
We
dodged
dodge clear into the next
Oh, them
sector.
piloting lessons
get
are
the
paying off,
MacGuffin,
baby.
And come back.
I dodged through space-time itself and caused a quantum instability in the brain of the slug that just shot at me.
Causing it to
It
fire.
no longer knows who it is.
It no longer knows who it is. Well, the sport pack mysteriously flies around your ship in such a way that it hits the remaining fighter,
Poor fighters. They really get the short end of the stick, don't they?
doing about half damage to the fighter.
Yes.
Oh yeah!
One more of those.
Good to know. Their weapons are effective against them.
Good to know.
In case we ever hijack one of them, you know.
Right.
Vokars also fire a shot or two at the... Oh my goodness! Another critical dodge for the Zoltan. The bombers fired a couple shots at the Zoltan, and one of the frigate pilots also warped space and time, such that the missile hit the remaining fighter, blowing it to pieces.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't shoot at that fighter this turn.
Yeah, would have been wasting a shot.
Zoltan's turn now. Several errant shots, leaving only one that actually connects. One of the bombers takes some damage. Your turn.
Shoot the bomber.
Shoot the bomber!
Actually,
Shoot the shot.
I don't think anything's recharged yet.
Is our ion cannon back up?
Oh yeah, we've got the ion cannon and the mini beamer back up now. Right?
Will that be next
You're
turn?
the gunner.
I think that's this turn.
Do they fire every other turn?
Yes, because we shot the heavy laser last turn, and so now the ion cannon is back up. It's got a 2-turn recharge. Does that mean we can shoot
That means 2 down turns, 1 turn of fire.
Okay, then it's still down for 1 more turn.
Right. What's the recharge on the mini beam?
Next turn, the
Same
mini
as
beam.
the ion cannon.
Okay.
So next turn
Yeah.
we'll
Okay.
have 2 up.
Yep.
Right. And then 1 turn with no weapons up, and then the heavy, and then both of them.
No.
What's the recharge on the heavy?
Next turn we'll shoot, and the heavy will still have 2 more turns. Or next turn, and then the turn after we'll have nothing.
The turn after, will the heavy be ready to shoot?
I think so.
Does that have a 3-turn cool?
Yeah. It's confusing.
So nothing, the 2 guns, nothing, the heavy, the 2 guns, nothing, and then everything.
Yes.
Alpha strike.
Alpha strike. We'll totally take out a bomber with that alpha strike. It'll be awesome.
Well, the most of the Vokar seem to be recharging their weapons, as it were. But one of the runners shoots like an acid flak that covers one of the frigate's hulls, or like splatters across the side of one of the frigate's hulls, and promptly begins to eat away at the hull.
Ew. Glad that wasn't us. I mean, bummer for them.
Zoltan turn? Wait, yes, because they rolled the best. They're also kind of recharging their weapons. Mostly, one of the shots hits one of the runners, doing a little bit of damage to it.
Why do they get to fire every turn, and we don't?
They've got 4 different ships, so I'm just consolidating them all. They don't all fire every turn, but I'm kind of taking some shortcuts. Yeah. So not every ship fires every turn, but one of their ships is firing every turn, since they have 4 different ships. Same with the... But not like that turn, there weren't as many of them that had weapons charged. Your turn.
I fire the things.
Fire the things.
Well
Make rolls. Designate your targets.
I fire at the bomber with the ion cannon. The healthiest bomber with the ion cannon.
Make your roll.
Okay.
15.
15.
Good shot.
Good enough to hit. The bomber does not dodge. The ion cannon strikes the bomber. Doesn't look like it has any effect.
I fire the mini beam at the wounded runner.
Make your roll.
Good choice.
9.
IQ roll, you need a 7. That's good enough.
Plus 1. Plus 1.
The mini beam slices the runner in half.
Who's up for some fried bug?
The rest of the bug guts go like spewing off into space.
Nice. So does it destroy?
That runner is, yeah.
Nice. I better get some sick XP for this, because I'm basically doing everything now.
Hey, I hit one of them
I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's true, you did.
with my ill piloting skills.
Totally ill piloting skill.
Sick nasty.
I'm helping.
Oh my goodness! Another critical dodge from the Zoltan. The Zoltan are risen crazy on their crits. One of the shots that a bomber. Man, I don't even know what to do with these critical dodges anymore. Yeah, one of the runners is wounded, so I'm going to say that one of the shots from the bombers takes out the remaining runner.
You know, these Zoltan
Dang, these are some gutsy Zoltan captains.
Not much for doing damage, but they sure can dodge.
I've got this 1d20 that I think is loaded because it just rolls 20s like crazy.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Well, that's okay because one of the
Apparently they can dodge a space wrench.
bombers rolls a 19.
Uh-oh.
The frigate, one of the remaining frigate takes some damage. The other frigate is pulling for to be safe. And the remaining
30 on a dodge.
What?
How?
One of the bombers fires another ship at you guys, or another shot at you guys.
And we yodge it.
I dodge it.
Roll for it.
Do we get like a +1 circumstance bonus to seeing how well the Zoltan are dodging?
No.
Maybe like some dodging tips?
Some dodging
Maybe
tips.
if you ask them, hey guys, how do you dodge so good? And they're like, we've got like 30 points in engines.
I would do it. Well, I rolled a 7. I'm guessing it's not good enough to dodge even with my red boosts.
Got +4.
Just because I'm not dodging like a boss anymore.
+3.
Yeah,
It's
so
a 10.
not good enough, and neither is Wooster's attempt to dodge. So
Booster.
this hit strikes you. Hold on, let me pull up the ship map because this is kind of important.
Uh-oh. That's
No.
not good.
Oh no, my mouse is running out of battery. Stop that. No! Okay, I'll just have to use my trackpad. I don't like that, but I will.
The ship hits us in the ship.
Where'd the map go? I know it's here somewhere.
Put it in Hangouts like yesterday. It's
Yeah,
literally
you
right
did.
there.
Well, I downloaded it, I'm sure, but okay, let me find it. Give me a second. Actually, no. I'm just gonna say it hits you. It strikes the engine room. Oh, there it is. Found it. Yeah, it strikes the engine room, causing a hull breach and doing 1 damage to your engines.
Did we have 2 shields?
Good thing our
Oh wait. Oh, your shields. Oh, yeah, this is a missile, so it skips shield.
Oh.
Good thing our utility droid is in the engine room and can immediately start repairing it.
Yes. Your utility droid takes some damage, however.
Seal the engine room, quickly!
Quickly, I seal the engine room.
You take 1 whole point of damage, and your engines are damaged.
Don't worry, we'll get them fixed.
Okay. Booster starts working on it immediately. That brings us back to the Zoltan's turn. Zoltan's shots this turn are 2. One of them misses. One of them hits one of the bombers, does a little bit of damage. Your turn.
I fire the heavy laser. I don't actually know if it's up yet. It's not.
Not up yet. We have a turn of nothing.
Um,
So we repair the engines. Good.
Ooh.
Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 6. Oh, yeah. Okay, one more turn until the heavy laser.
Yes.
All right. Wooster has to first repair the... Do you want? Well, I guess. Do you want him to repair the hull breach first or the engine?
Of course, you have to repair the hull breach first.
That's the way it works on FTL.
Yes.
So he works on that. It's not repaired this turn, but hopefully next turn it will be.
Wait, are our engines entirely down?
You took a
Just
point of...
damage.
Yeah, they're just dimmed. So you will only have like a +1 bonus instead of your +2.
Instead of our +2. Gotcha.
That's still something.
Yeah, that's something.
Okay.
Okay, that was their turn, so it's Zoltan's turn. Your turn.
So now we have the opportunity to shoot things.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
should shoot things.
With the heavy laser.
Heavy laser is up.
I shoot the wounded bomber.
The wounded bomber. Make a roll.
And I roll an 18.
Holy cow.
Blam, 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 blam.
Kablamzo. Kabloomers. Destruction.
Harry totally wigs out and blows up half the shop.
The bomber takes 2 damage. Wooster repairs the breach and begins working on the engines.
Yes.
You're in the middle, so it's the Vokar's turn next. Bombers fire off several shots. One of them at the Corvette who fails to dodge. One of them at you. It's good enough to hit. Roll for your dodge.
And Yajin.
I am rolling a 2.
We need a new pilot.
You roll it 2. The spore sack of acid smashes directly into your starboard shields, doing 2 damage to the shields and taking them down.
And they start recharging.
And then begin recharging. But you'll have 2 down turns if you don't have any shield.
Fortunately, our next 2 turns we will have no weapons up, so I'm going to
We
be.
will have 2 weapons up next turn, but we could.
You
just
also have cloak
not
if
fire
you want
them.
to.
We could not fire them and take 2 turns of cloak, or 2 turns of evasive maneuvers. We can't shoot while we're cloaked, right?
True, but our weapons can recharge.
Yes.
Also true. Okay.
Their
Let's do it.
turn.
Their turn or our turn?
That was their turn, so now it's your turn.
Activate the cloaking
Don't the Zoltan get a
systems.
turn?
Say what?
Does the Zoltan get a turn?
They had one before that. Did I skip them?
Well, they.
I thought it was Zoltan, then us, then the aliens. So the aliens just shot at us, so it should
Right.
be the Zoltan's turn.
It's the Zoltan's. I'm sorry, you're right. I completely forgot. Couple nice shots.
We'll just check and.
Very nice shots from the Zoltan. Do some good damage to the bombers.
Nice.
Right, all right.
Yeah, Zoltan allies.
So
It is now your turn. Wooster does something to the engines that is not fixing it.
Oh no.
Did we fix the whole breach?
He fixed the whole breach. The whole breach is fixed. There's still very little oxygen in the engine room, but he's
That's
now
okay. He's a robot.
fixing the engines, and Amy is fixing the shields. You have 2 weapons ready to fire if you'd like to fire them.
We activate the cloaking device. And evasive maneuvers.
Running the silence.
Activate the
And
cloak.
what the heck? Evasive maneuvers too.
While you're close?
Anything?
Yeah, you can do that, right?
Sure. Why not? I don't see. I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay.
So we're doing that.
Oh man, the Vokar. Vokar roll a critical fail. One of
These
the
Vokar are a
At the
lot
bottom
dumber
of the
than the last
fighter.
ones we encountered.
for something, yeah, I guess. One of the Vokar, I'm gonna say he smashes himself into the NG station, and is gonna be disoriented for 2 turns.
Interesting decision, Mr. Vokar.
Disoriented. The other Vokar fires a shot at the Zoltan, which they do not dodge. The cruiser takes several points of damage. There's only 3 of them. The other one's still charging. Zoltan's turn. The frigate and the corvette are both clear of battle. Second corvette makes critical dodge
Nice.
by the Vokar.
Oh wait.
Um,
Accursed Vokar.
I'm gonna save one of the.
Vokar.
Okay. Things don't go incredibly well, but the Zoltan do manage to put 1 point of damage on the weakest bomber. Your turn.
We are cloaking and dodging.
Cloaking and dodging.
All cloak, all dodge, all day.
All cloak. All dodge. They can't see you. They're not firing at you. Zoltan. Oh wait, no, sorry. I did that wrong again.
It's the
I did that
Vokar's
backwards.
turn now.
It's the Vokar's turn now, but I accidentally gave them a turn on accident before you, so I'm gonna skip them this time and go straight to the Zoltan. The Zoltan fire a terrible shot that totally misses, and another terrible shot that totally misses. Your turn again.
I told you they're not much for shooting, but they are good at dodging.
Your shields are back up. Your engines are repaired unless Wooster rolls a 1, which he does not, and all weapons are now ready to fire.
Oh, baby.
And you're out of cloak.
We're out of what?
Cloak.
Oh, we unleash.
Voltron, time to show them why they call you the Indomitable.
All weapons.
Why do they call me the Indomitable? Because I don't really
I
remember.
don't know, it's your name.
We
I think you're the
unleash
Indomitable.
the what did we call it? The
Alpha Strike.
Alpha Strike.
Like in MechWarrior.
Yeah. So, remind me of the state of the bombers and the runners right now.
Runners are all down. You're looking at 3 bombers, 2 of which are pretty wounded, the other one of which is probably at about 2/3.
We unleash the Alpha Strike on the 2/3 bomber, firing everything we have at it. First,
Right.
The ion cannon,
Fire away.
for which I roll a 17.
17 is good enough to hit. The Vokar is 1 away from dodging that. It does not dodge. The ion cannon strikes the bomber, doing apparently nothing.
The next is the Benny Meme,
The Benny Meme!
for which we rolled a 5. But I get +1 from intelligence, but still only a 6.
That's 6, which means instead of doing 3 damage, you do 2 damage.
Curses. But that's also all that the heavy laser does, so it's like having 2 heavy lasers this turn.
Sure.
We fire the heavy laser.
Mega roll for it.
A 1.
A 1?
And you were just complaining about my piloting? At least I haven't rolled a critical
It's
fail.
the first one I've rolled all night.
Um,
That's
I haven't rolled any all night.
as you are working on the target computer, you somehow bump a couple switches and create a feedback loop that does 1 damage to the hull and 1 damage to the weapons system.
Oh no.
Well, we've got a couple turns of recharge for you to fix that.
So the weapons are down 1 point, which means you cannot use your mini beam. And well, I guess you get to choose. You're down 1 power, so
We'll take the ion cannon offline.
so the ion cannon is offline until you can repair that, and you're down to 2 hull.
My bad. And the cloaking system is recharging, right?
Yes, we got what?
5 more turns.
Yeah, I should maybe think about changing that.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think it starts recharge when we come out of cloak, right? Or does it start recharge when we turn cloak on? That would be a little overpowered, I think. I think we
Yeah.
do it after we come out, it turns on.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it works in FTL.
5 more turns for the cloak.
5 more turns.
It's okay.
Yes.
We've got 2 turns for our gunner to repair his inexplicably damaged engine or weapons compartment.
I don't know, man.
During that time, I will be exclusion dodging.
Quick question,
Yeah.
by the way. So one of the things in FTL is like when you repair the breach, it repairs the total hull points or whatever. You repair the systems, it also repairs like that health or whatever. Does that make sense?
Hull damage can only be repaired. Oh, when you repair a system, you repair like system health.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And system health is measured in power bars. So like if you have 5 power
Yeah.
your weapons and you take 3 damage, you can use 2 bars of that power, and every time you repair it like 1 bar of power at a time. But your hull damage it remains the same.
Okay.
The Vokar took 1 shot and missed it.
Hit too hard here.
The Zoltan take another shot at one of the wounded, one of the wounded bombers, and it is your turn. Would you like to make a repair roll, Phil?
I would love to. Is that a D20?
Yeah, D20. You're gonna. So this turn, you're gonna make an IQ roll.
I rolled a 7, so at +1.
Is that good enough? I think that should be.
I sure hope so, man.
You rolled a
Boy,
7.
me too.
Shoot, where'd I put it? You rolled a 7 plus 1. Oh, shoot. I've got this somewhere. I wrote it down a long time ago. What that poop?
In a galaxy far, far away.
Far away.
I guess since you don't have it, we're gonna just have to say that I fixed it in 1 turn.
You fixed it in 1 turn. Yeah, probably not.
What are you saying?
I found it. Ha! I found it. Yes. Would you roll 7 plus 1? That is not good enough. That's okay. Next turn you can make your IQ roll again. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
And nothing else we can do.
Just explosion dodging.
Just explosion. Da-da.
Engines are back fixed. That's right. Okay.
Yes, engines are fixed. Vokar don't hit any of their shots this turn. Unfortunately, neither do the Zoltan. Whole bunch of fires exchanged. Nobody hits. Your turn again.
I try to roll for an IQ again.
Make your IQ roll.
14.
14 is good enough. Next turn, you'll need to make a dex roll.
I am more dexterous than I am intelligent, so should be good.
Good, because the weapons will be up next turn.
Oh, shnikes.
At least one of them will be.
Okay, in the turn that follows, the Vokar do some damage to the Zoltan. Zoltan are starting to really hurt now. Your turn again.
It's the Zoltan's turn again.
I did that. I did them both really fast.
Oh, okay.
Your turn to fire. The mini beam's up.
The mini beam at the wounded bomber.
The wounded bomber.
The wounded is
Roll for it.
18.
18. Ow. The bomber explodes into a whole bunch of guts. Would you like to make your
Well done.
Dex roll to repair the weapon system.
Yes.
It's a good thing we decided to roll the weapons first.
What'd you roll?
2.
Would you like to suffer 2 strain to re-roll that?
Couldn't I have done that last turn? Yes. Can you not do it on a 1?
Did you roll a 1?
Probably
No,
not.
can you not take strain on a 1?
Probably not.
Okay. I rolled an 8, so +1 is 9.
Ugh, not good enough. Can make that attempt.
Can I take some more strain?
No. I'll expedite their turns. Aha. The Zoltan fleet is able to destroy the second to last bomber, leaving only 1 bomber left. It is your turn. Heavy lasers ready to fire this turn.
I open a hailing channel to negotiate the surrender of the final bomber.
You
And
know
I
it's
say,
like an alien
attention,
slug
enemy
thing.
bomber. This turn we will destroy you. This turn. We are about to destroy you. If you do not reply with your complete surrender. And just in case, I turn the communications laser up to full power and point it right at the weak spot on the bomber where the missiles come out in an attempt to perhaps disable them with the power of the laser.
You fire
Are
your...
you just trying to get an extra shot with the comm laser?
I fire the comm laser.
You fire the comm laser. It's interesting that you should say that, because the comm laser seems to have... The directed communication seems to have an effect on the bomber's central nervous system, which causes it to move at full speed directly towards your ship.
What?
It's a little confused at the moment, and seems to be flying as fast as it can directly in your direction.
Interesting.
I blame you for this.
I fire
If
the
it
heavy
tries
laser.
to eat us,
Wait, I rolled a repair first.
Yes. You're still on your dex roll.
7.
Not good enough.
I fire the heavy laser.
Roll for it.
13.
13 is good enough to hit. It just continues to fly directly towards you. It doesn't try to dodge. You do several damage to it. However, it's not dead.
I turn the comm laser off and hail the Volton fleet. Quick! Open a comm laser channel with the enemy before it destroys us.
you do realize you're not allowed to just kill us all off before going to basic, right?
Quick!
So...
You can only say something like, hey, it's going in a straight line in a very predictable pattern. You should probably shoot at it now.
Well, it's the Vokar's turn first, and it fires a large bone missile at you, so you'll need to roll for dodge.
Oh no.
This is your fault.
Not my fault. The engines are back
100%.
online.
Engines are back online.
It is kind of my fault.
I rolled an 8, plus 3.
Not good enough.
Plus 1 for circumstance bonus for being really, really mad.
And Wooster rolls a...
Booster rolls a 6 or a 9. A 6. Either way, not good enough. The missile bypasses your shields and does 1 hull damage, causing a breach in your cloaking room.
Okay.
Damaging the cloaking system. The cloaking system is offline. Actually, hold on. Is that right?
Okay.
Yes. Cloaking system is offline. You're down to one hull, and there's a breach in the cloaking room.
Can we send Jeeves to repair that?
You can send Wooster to repair that if you'd like.
Jeeves doesn't repair anything. He's a protocol.
Jeeves doesn't repair it all. Oh.
Jeeves is currently running around the ship going, they've got the cloaking. We'll die for sure this time.
We'll put Stephen Albert on it.
We put a restraining bolt on Jeeves during combat.
Where is Albert stationed?
Usually, I think he's in the med bay. Usually.
The med bay? So he's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. So he can get to the cloaking room this turn.
He does so.
Send him off.
Mantis are fast. Mantis are speedy. He will take some damage as he attempts to repair it. Vokar's turn. Oh, my Lanta.
Isn't it the Zoltan's turn first?
I was just saying that was Vokar's turn, so now it's the Zoltan's turn.
Okay.
And they rolled a critical success on their weapons checks and slice the Vokar in half. A whole bunch of Vokar guts splatter across your shields.
That was way closer than it needed to, mister. I'm going to try and invent an improvised weapon in combat.
The Vokar guts splattered across our shields. Would the shields have saved us in the event of a direct collision? Because it's the same amount of mass.
No, it got split in half. We drove through the hole.
Oh.
I'm a better pilot than that.
There were a whole bunch of it's a whole bunch of tiny little bits rather than one enormous mass.
Okay. Whew. We learned something very important, though, that they can be either...
Don't let the gutter run the comm systems.
Something is about their physiology has an interesting interaction with a communications laser. It's
something
possible,
about the Space Master wants to keep you from trying to invent improvised weapons.
It's possible that this could be used to exploit some sort of species-wide weakness.
It's possible that you should never try firing the comm laser at anything.
We learned something today. I used to be thankful I didn't try to.
I learned something useful today.
We're openly using the term comm laser. Can we just talk about that for a second?
Yes, it's a direct beam laser that transmits signals. I mean,
okay, I'm going to say for that massive battle.
In this case, it transmits the signal: "Attack me! Attack me! Attack me!"
Well, that could be great. Maybe we launch a probe with a comm laser and shoot at the enemy with the comm laser. It doesn't dodge while it's attacking that thing, and then we can blow it to smithereens.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that
a drone control system or a functional plan.
Enough XP to reach level 9.
Woo!
Which
level
means
9. Level 9.
You get another power.
How about we put it into engines for now, so we can drive to the space station faster to repair our ship.
Are we making that canon? Are we putting it in engines?
You know how you hit one of the ships by dodging, Wilberforce? I just like to point out that 2 can play at that game, and I hit our ship by doing a thing that was not supposed to do that. So that's pretty clever.
So what you're saying is +1 for me, -1 for you.
Yes, and since I was ahead by 2, now we're even.
Now we're even.
Except that I didn't roll any 1s.
I only rolled 1 of those. So
one more.
I only rolled 0 of those.
Well, like I said, now we're even. So there you go.
So where are we putting that other extra point of power?
We can put it wherever we want, but for now, I'm just going to let it hang in the ether while we get back to the dock to repair the ship.
Let's
hail the NG and request a docking berry.
The NG grant your request for docking. They are so overjoyed that you helped them defeat the Vokar that they are willing to repair your hull for free.
I allow them to do so.
While you are at the dock, you notice that the other Zoltan ships the other Zoltan ships are also moving in to be repaired. Repairs are starting on the station, etc. A Zoltan approaches I assume you guys are like with your ship, or are you like walking around?
I have been confined, unfortunately, to the ship.
To repair the weapon.
Do some research and understand the true nature of our comm laser.
The
And
true nature of our comm laser.
perhaps analyze the battle to see what sort of reaction occurred when it hit the enemy Vokar. To try to learn something. I'm in what's the word? I'm in I don't know. I'm with Dr. Stephen Albert, and we're discussing the possibilities for militarizing the comm laser.
You're with Dr. Albert?
Yeah, he's the smartest one. And I'm trying to figure out
is
physiologically
probably
what's
true.
happening to these Vokar that causes such a reaction. We are trying to understand that together.
Dr. Albert
Right.
says, you do realize I'm an archaeologist, correct?
Listen, this is uncharted territory. I need your expertise. I need your expertise and your help with this.
So
And
in
Amy,
that
because
case-
she was awesome, gets money for dinner and gets to go do her own thing for a while.
Who does?
And she's probably sick of being with us.
Who does?
Amy.
Oh.
Because
Amy.
that's coming out
She-
of your scrap, buddy, not mine.
That's fine. She did a great job. She's put up with us for a long time. She deserves a little shore leave.
Okay.
She's vastly appreciative. Then in that case, Jericho, you are approached by two military-dressed Zoltan, who one of them approaches you and says, and begins speaking in a language you don't recognize, which is a little bit strange because most people in the galaxy speak Galactic Basic. But for some reason, this Zoltan doesn't. He extends his hand to you like he would for a handshake and begins speaking to you in another language.
Convenient that
I'm
we
not-
haven't encountered any languages we don't understand until after we purchased a protocol droid.
The protocol droid
That's it.
waddles up to you and says, "Excuse me, Captain. I am programmed for protocol and etiquette. I also speak at least 8 different types of languages, including
At least 8.
At least 8, possibly more than
But-
8.
possibly more."
Maybe even as high as 9.
Well, I just realized that there's probably only about 8 languages in this galaxy,
300 is at least 8.
including this, what I believe to be dialect of
6.1
Zoltan.
million is also at least 8.
0.1 billion is also
Do you
at
require-
least 8.
Do you require my assistance?
I would certainly appreciate your assistance both in translating what this Voltan said and in advising me on the appropriate response protocol. Protocol droid.
At this moment, it would be
Have you ever
appropriate.
noticed that 3PO is never used as a protocol droid?
Nope, never.
Maybe because he was built by a kid on a backwoods desert planet.
Yeah, so
Probably using a homebrewed kit without any software updates.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't believe that C-3PO was built by Anakin, because in the movie Anakin says he's building it to help his mom. And what would his mom need a protocol droid for? She's like a slave, right? Like, protocol droids
The way I
can't-
figure it, he probably got
they
a
can't wash
kit
dishes.
and was like, hey, maybe mom can use this to negotiate her way out of slavery or something. I don't know, I'm 8.
Protocol droids are rare.
They're, like,
expensive.
mass-produced.
I mean, you got a droid that's fluent in 6 million languages. That'll sell. Maybe you can buy your freedom with that. Especially
How-
in a galaxy where, like, there are hundreds of millions of different species, and like communication is critical, especially on a planet like Tatooine that attracts
In his
the dregs of
situation-
society.
Both he and his mom knew all the languages they needed to survive, which were like maybe 2.
But I'm saying you sell the
No,
protocol
Anakin spoke
droid
like
to
several
somebody
languages.
who needs it, and you can get a lot of money for it.
But he specifically said he built it to help his mom with stuff. I don't know. I just don't see how she
Maybe
can
his
possibly.
mom was running an interplanetary black market.
Now that's possible. That's possible. Well, anyway, your protocol droid, Jeeves, tells you that at this juncture it would be appropriate to shake the Zoltan's hand.
I shake the Zoltan's hand. Now, what did he say?
He turns to the Zoltan and says, like, speaks in their language a little bit, and then like does a little awkward bow, and then he turns to you. These two Zoltan are members of one of the ships that we assisted. They offer you their thanks and tell you that it is most honorable and noble of you to assist them in this conflict, which does not necessarily concern you. They are both thankful and grateful. What would you like to say in return?
I would like to acknowledge their thanks and offer them best wishes and any repairs necessary in a culturally appropriate and sensitive manner, and also ask if they have any more information on where these giant space slugworm things came from.
Ah, excellent. He turns to them. They exchange words. The two, at one point in the conversation, the two Zoltan sort of look at each other. One of them says something, the other one says, They turn back to the droid and talk to him for a little bit. The protocol droid turns to you and says, this is interesting. They say that they're not entirely sure where the Vokar came from, but they may be residents of another dimension or from a vast part of uncharted space. They're not entirely sure. However, they seem
intergalactic space worms from another dimension.
They seem to be a major problem in this sector. The Zoltan have apparently been asked to help, but only a small fleet has been sent, and at the moment they seem to be outnumbered across the sector. He says, they have told me that there is this particular problem with the beacon to the northeast of here, where the Vokar mothership is located.
Sure, it's a good thing.
Hey, I think I know what that red light means.
What'd you say? Wait, you both said something. What did you say?
We didn't just. It sure is a good thing we didn't just jump there.
Yep.
Yeah, whose idea was that anyway?
I don't know. It wasn't mine.
One of the Zoltan talks
Amy
to the
said something about it. I don't know.
To Jeeves again. Jeeves bows and turns to you. He says, the Zoltan say that they have a possible solution to deal with the Vokar, with the problem of the Vokar, but they would require the assistance of a civilian ship.
Does the Zoltan know about this communications laser weakness that the Vokar?
Well, it's a good thing you're not part of this
we
communication.
should totally tell them about that.
Well, we happen to have a ship. Given our difficulties in the latest combat, it might be best if we could get our hands on a better ship, but we can certainly crew a ship.
He turns to the Zoltan and like, the Zoltan say,
Sounds like they're speaking two different languages in that conversation.
he turns back to you and says, they have offered to let you meet with their Vashkai. I believe the equivalent military rank in the Federation for that would be Admiral. Admiral Zelny is apparently holding station between the two beacons with an interdictor cruiser in order to stop anyone from jumping into towards the beacon where the mothership is.
Okay, so it wouldn't
Close
have been a
call.
bad thing if we'd have jumped, because we would have just been interdicted, and we wouldn't have made it to the mothership
Probably
anyway,
press ganged.
and they would have been able to repair our ship at their outpost with their interdicted cruiser. They would have had techs to be able to do that. Would have been fine.
He says, these two Zoltan are not incredibly highly ranking officers, but they believe that some sort of reward would be in line for your assistance.
Sounds good to me.
Can we get?
Let's go
like
meet with the Fleet Admiral.
So,
Once we've, prepared, rearmed, restocked, reprovisioned, everything else.
Jeeves talks to them again. He tells me they said farewell. They turn and walk off. They're going to go talk to their superiors.
Cool. I'm going to go have a beer.
Right. Beers are a scrap piece.
Because, yeah.
Or, you know what? Maybe the engine will give you a free one. Although, actually,
I'm okay with that.
but they probably have, like, a collection of, like, really low-quality Federation ales, since they're not in Federation space, and I don't think NGs consume alcohol.
That's probably true.
Okay.
I'm going to go relax in a bar for a little bit, because that was a pretty harrowing firefight.
Some motor oil, I guess.
Drink some motor oil. Drink some mud. Right, so you're restocked, you're refueled, you take some rest, you recover any health you've lost. Oh, and Albert is able to fix the cloaking system.
Great. He
Oh, nice.
And the whole breach.
while we were doing some research, I did a few intelligence rolls.
You made a few
I made a few intelligence rolls, and I eventually rolled a 20.
You eventually rolled a 20. So
6 months later.
And I discovered that...
So, what you're telling me is that you sat there without the Space Master knowing it and rolled your day 20 until you got a 20?
I discovered that the Vokar have a specific vulnerability to a certain frequency of light that is used in the universal standard comm laser array.
Don is just raising his hand.
Quick question.
It overloads their logic circuits and activates their hindbrain, if you could call it that, because their physiology is very alien, and turns on the aggressive fight reflex. It prevents them from using any of the utility functions of their bodies, forces them into basically a kamikaze dive towards the target, and this could be used to exploit the weakness. This weakness could be used to exploit them into becoming easy targets for missiles, lasers, etc. Even ballistic items, like you could just throw torpedoes at them, and they would run right into them. You don't even need to fire them.
So, quick question for you there, Voltron. What did you roll on your convince the DM to allow you to modify his universe without his permission check?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think... What do you mean? I've just been doing some research.
My favorite part about this is that it was prefaced, is entirely couched and prefaced with, so while you weren't looking, I made a bunch of intelligent rolls, and I eventually rolled a 20.
Yeah, he's not even going for the take 10. He's going for a take 20.
I've been researching, okay? Been doing some research about
Apparently they have the greatest pan-dimensional research library ever known.
Well,
including alternate dimensions.
I'm just saying, I inferred a lot.
That may or may not have any basis on fact or reality.
I inferred a lot, too, which is where that 20 IQ roll comes in.
Which is called making things up.
Yeah. So I'm going to say you're contacted by the Zoltan, who give you permission to speak with their admiral en route to the next beacon. If you'd like to record all that bogus information that you came up with in your research on the tape recorder, you can do so.
Excuse me, it's brilliant research.
Well, I didn't ask you to make any IQ rolls.
I include the battle data that the ship's computer recorded as evidence.
You are certainly welcome to record the battle data.
Thank you.
So, would you like to make the jump to the next beacon?
I would like to buy some fuel.
Now, how much fuel would you like to buy?
That's a good idea.
We have 19. We should buy at least one, so we have a nice even number.
Okay. Fuel is 4 scrap apiece here.
We buy 1 fuel.
1 fuel, bringing you up to 20.
That's nice.
And down to 26 scrap.
Also nice. We have an extra point of engine power. Where do we want to put that?
It's up to you.
Well, with just 1,
Question.
We could take shields down by 1 and raise engines by 2.
Yeah, but the engine only applies to whoever's in the engine room, unfortunately.
Or we could just put another point of shields.
Well, I don't
You're at your max shields.
We can't, or we're at the max shields.
For this
Okay.
As soon as you get to tier 2, though, just saying.
Yes, well, as soon as we get to a better ship.
Let's put it in, let's put 2 in engines. Take 1 out of shields and put 2 into engines. So we're at +3.
You'll be down to, that'll take you down to 3 in your shields instead of 4.
3 shields. 4
Yes.
power, 3 shields.
4 power, 3 shields. Sound good?
Sounds good. Did you transmit
Alright,
that
so
battle data to the Zoltan?
you can do that when you get when you reach the fleet.
Okay.
The fleet of the Zoltan that are helping the Engi at the moment are stationed about halfway between the two beacons.
Great. Before we leave, I get a good night's sleep. And
I'll say you do that on your way.
And take a break.
And take a break. Sounds good.
Okay.
May restore your strain.
Okay. I'm taking a break.
Oh. At the moment.
Yes.
Gotcha.
For like 4.5 months.